Have you ever had one of those dreams, with a brilliant, sparkling diamond? Your first thought might be, oh, money or luxury. But hold on. In Islamic dream interpretation, that is barely scratching the surface. We're talking about potentially profound messages about your life, your path. So let's get into it and decode what these beautiful gems are really trying to tell you.
So really, what does it mean when a diamond shows up in your dream? You might be wondering, is this a sign I'm getting married? Or, wait, I lost one. Does that mean I'm losing a blessing? Well, the thing is, the answers aren't just a simple yes or no. It's all in the details. Every single little thing in that dream matters. Okay, and this right here, this is the absolute key. If we're going to understand these dreams, we have to completely shift our thinking away from just stuff, away from materialism. See, in the Islamic tradition, diamonds are powerful symbols. They carry these deep, meaningful messages about things like your honor, the trust people have in you, and those incredible unseen blessings from Allah that you might not even be aware of. All right, now here's where it gets really fascinating. You might think, diamond, great sign, but not always. It's like a coin with two sides. That diamond can be a message of a huge blessing coming your way, or it can be a pretty serious warning. And how do you know which one it is? Well, it all comes down to the context of the dream. That's what unlocks the real meaning.
So let's break that down. This whole two-sided thing is absolutely crucial. On the one hand, a diamond could be a sign of honor, of divine provision, a hidden opportunity that Allah is sending your way. But on the flip side, it can be a real wake-up call, a warning that maybe you've been a bit negligent in your faith or that you're about to lose a blessing. It can even point to deceit from people you trust.
Okay, let's start with the good stuff, right? The positive side. So say you dream that you find a diamond. This is a classic sign of unexpected provision. In Arabic, this is known as rizq. It's that sustenance, those blessings that Allah provides, often when you least expect it. It's just a beautiful symbol that something good is just around the corner. But then, of course, the opposite can also be true. If you dream about losing a diamond, well, that's a pretty powerful warning. It could be a reflection of a slip-up in your faith, or it might be signaling that there's a huge opportunity you're about to miss. It's basically the dream's way of telling you, hey, pay attention, time for a little self-reflection.
All right, let's run through a few other common scenarios, because it's not always just about finding or losing. What if someone gives you a diamond in a dream? That can point to happiness or sustenance coming to you through other people. And if you're wearing a diamond, that often represents honor, maybe a new position of authority or a big responsibility you've been given. Now, one to look out for, fake diamonds. That's a huge red flag for deceit, false pride, things that just aren't what they seem. And finally, if the diamond is broken, that could signal a weakening of faith or some trials that are about to test your status. So where does all this come from? Well, you have to understand, these aren't just some modern ideas. We're talking about interpretations built on centuries of wisdom. We're tapping into the insights of incredible Islamic scholars who spent their lives thinking deeply about these very symbols.
Take, for example, the great scholar Imam Jafar al-Sadiq. He often connected diamonds with things like high esteem and having real influence in your community. But, and this is a big but, he also said that for someone who's really devout, that same dream could be a powerful sign of their strong faith and their spiritual purity. See? Context again. Then you have probably the most famous dream interpreter, Muhammad ibn Sirin. For him, diamonds often pointed to worldly success, what's known as the dunya. But he almost always attached a really important warning to it. He'd say, be careful. This dream might be a caution from Allah against getting too caught up in materialism, chasing the false hopes of this world. And of course, we have the tradition of Prophet Yusuf, peace be upon him, who, as we know, was given this incredible divine gift for interpreting dreams. In that tradition, diamonds are all about inner clarity. Seeing one could mean your intentions are pure, that you're on the right path. It can even be a sign of divine rewards for staying strong in your faith. Okay, so we've heard from these amazing scholars, and you might be thinking, all right, that's great, but which one applies to my dream? And that brings us to what is maybe the single most important rule of dream interpretation. Context is everything. Your life, your situation, that's what shapes the meaning. A dream isn't some one-size-fits-all formula. It's a personal message crafted just for you. Let me give you a perfect example. A man dreams of a diamond, and very often that's going to point to something in his professional life. Success, financial gain, that kind of thing. But a single woman has the exact same dream.
And for her, it could be a really strong sign of a marriage proposal or a major commitment built on purity and loyalty. It's just a fantastic example of how the same exact symbol can mean two totally different things.
So, we've looked at all these different angles, right? The potential blessings, the warnings, what the great scholars said, and how your own personal life fits in. So, what's the one big idea, the final takeaway you should hold on to? It's actually this simple. A diamond in your dream is a mirror. That's it. It's not a crystal ball showing you some far-off future. No, it's a reflection of you, right here, right now. It's showing you your spiritual condition, how you're relating to the world, and what blessings or warnings you need to be aware of in this very moment.
And so, that leads us to the real question, the one that actually matters. The next time you dream of a diamond, try not to just ask, what am I going to get? Instead, ask yourself this: what is this dream reflecting about my spiritual life right now? Because that's where you'll find the real treasure.